11:15 p.m., March 19th, a Thursday. That was a big night for a lot of people in Wickfield, Massachusetts. Young Martin Rossetti and his son, Billy. This was a big night for them. And it was for Martin's wife, Gladys, too. Poor Gladys. In a way, I guess this was also a big night for all the fellas used to like to look at her legs when she walked around town. From tonight on, nobody was going to get a chance to do that anymore. It's a shame. We don't have so many girls with good legs in Wickfield that we can afford to lose a pair like hers. That's me, Joe Monti, widower, pretty successful lawyer. Mama's good little Italian boy grown up.
It's a form of leukemia, Joe. A bad form of it, pretty well along. I can see to it that there isn't much pain. I can give you transfusions and keep you active right up to the end. But it's what they call non-reversible. I can't save you, Joe. I tell you, if there was anybody could do anything.
I'd hoped maybe I was just anemic.
That's what I hoped, too, when you first came to see me, but it isn't anemia. You must have known that when I started making all those tests this week. You must have known I was testing for something.
I thought you were testing for a fee.
You're impossible, Joe. You're just not going to let me talk to you, are you? Where's Carlotta tonight?
Why?
She's your daughter. She ought to be told how to take care of you.
Carlotta has her life. I've had mine. Hey, Doc, I don't want you to tell anybody about this until the last possible minute. I'll get you a drink.
I think she'd want to know, Joe.
Carlotta's engaged to that poop Alvin. All day, every day, she's furnishing a cold, one-room apartment they're going to be living in. I said, Carlotta, where's the nursery? Alvin can afford another room. She says, oh, no, Papa. No, we don't want children. Not for 3 years. Alvin has a timetable. Yeah, a man will have children by the clock. Imagine my daughter marrying a man like that. That's one thing I'm through with as of right now, answering telephones at night. Some client of mine has run his car into a beer wagon. I'll let him spend the rest of the night in jail.
You're dating yourself, Joe. Beer wagon. I left this number. It might be for me.
Okay, you answer it. Tell him I'm out.
Hello?
Dating myself. Well, who's got a better right?
No, he isn't. What? Somebody's been murdered. It's some lady. Her son's murdered somebody.
Hello? Lena. Lena, yes. Yes, yes. It's a woman I used to know. She's crying so hard I can't... Yeah, Lena, will you speak up? I can't understand what you're saying. Uh-huh. Yes? I see. All right, Lena, take it easy. We're coming right over. Yes, I'll be right... Oh, wait a minute. Doc, could you drive me? I haven't got the car. Carlotta has the car.
Sure, sure.
Give me the address. I don't have the address anymore. Yes? Uh-huh. All right. Lena, we're coming right over. Relax. No, Lena, I'm sorry. I can't handle the case, but I'll come over and talk to you about it. No, Lena, I can't. I won't be here. I'm going out of town. All right. Bye-bye.
Who was that?
Lena Rossetti. You know her?
I don't think so. Who is she?
Today, she's probably just a skinny grandmother with rheumatism. But once, how pretty she was. Elegant. She was born in Milano. A couple of times in rumble seats when we were kids. She and I. Remember rumble seats, Doc? They don't even call it necking anymore. Anyway, necking, that's neither here nor there. The point is her son, nice, polite son, named Martin. I've met him. He killed his wife, very pretty wife. How do you think he killed her, this nice, polite boy?
I don't know.
Young Martin Rossetti kicked her to death.
Kicked?
Kicked. The reason she wants me to see him tonight, me especially, is because of what she calls my love of life. She thinks I can talk him into wanting to defend himself. He doesn't care whether he lives or not. That's a good one, eh?
Why is it such a good one, Joe? I don't understand.
Because I don't care much whether I live or not either. I'd be almost glad to shuffle off.
Joe.
Joe. That's the way it is. Neither of us cares. But of the two of us, he's the only one who's maybe got a choice.
Mr. Joe Monti is here to see you.
Martin? Your mother asked me to see you. May we come into your parlor?
I'm sorry, Mr. Molly, but I don't want a lawyer.
You don't want a lawyer, I don't want a client. But here we are. Charlie can't let me in unless you give permission.
It's awfully late.
Sure, it's late. What difference does that make? A man just doesn't kick his wife to death every night.
Good night, Mr. Molly.
You're a beautiful mother. She says you don't care whether you live or not.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Yes, sir, that's right. Just like we were talking about which way to the washroom.
I gotta get some sleep.
This is Mr. Sackheim. I brought him because by the time your case comes to trial, I'll have gone. I'm going to Bermuda.
If I was the kind of man that went to Bermuda in the winter, maybe I'd want to live too.
Martin, the officer on duty downstairs, he was telling me about your confession. You kicked your wife to death, and then you covered her with her coat. Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
Tell me about that one thing and I'll go home. Freddie and me will both go home. A woman you hated so much you planned her murder for weeks. You told the cops weeks. And you chose as a murder weapon kicking. And then you cover her with her coat. Answer me with truth about that coat, and I'll go. A man who can do both things, the kicking and the coat, that's a man interests me. Tell me.
I suppose you think she was just a pretty girl, or a fairly pretty girl. But to me, when everything was still all right and before she started to drink, I loved her, and I'm sorry I had to kill her.
You're not sorry you killed her. You're just sorry you had to kill her.
Yes, sir.
But why did you have to?
I loved Gladys when she was sitting in front of her mirror brushing her hair, the way she was when we were first married. I never had a lot of experience with a lot of women. You know what I mean? Even when I did my time in Fort Dix in the service, I never had what you would call a lot of women. I couldn't just leave her lying there without anything over her.
I see. All right, Martin, we'll go now. Good night. Good luck.
Good night.
Good luck on your trip.
Thank you. Good luck on yours. Charlie, I hear you're about ready to retire, huh? Pension all set?
Yes, sir. 11 days to go.
No other customers in the whole place tonight, huh?
No, business has been terrible.
I want you to break a regulation for me, Charlie, just as a favor.
Okay, Mr. Monty, I'll do it for you. What is it?
I don't care whether he wants to talk to me or not. Bring him to the visitor's room.
All right.
Joe, if a man wants to commit suicide with the state's help, it's going to be pretty hard to stop him.
You never knew my wife, did you, Freddie? She was named Virginia. Freddie, she died fighting. She died hanging on to my hand, wanting to live 1 minute more. That's the way a human being should die. Clinging on to life, not feeling that way. That's an insult to her.
What do you mean? Because he doesn't feel that way. That's an insult to your late wife?
Go home, Freddie. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thought you told me if I answered that one question, you were going to leave me alone.
I lied to you. Charlie will wake you up if we want anything. You want some coffee, Martin? The desk sergeant downstairs has a pot going.
No, I just want to get some sleep.
You're going to be sleeping a couple of million years. Look at the moon. There's something about when you look at the moon, it's a feeling that we are a planet. You can see that all this space talk is really true. You think it's going to be lonely, dead. Somewhere out there is Holy Cross Cemetery. That's where us good Catholics end up, moldering in our graves.
I don't worry about moldering in the grave. I'm looking forward to it.
You think out of 10 billion women in this world, there isn't another woman for you?
The penalty for premeditated murder is electrocution.
I'm thinking. I like to pace around when I think. What makes me so sure that I can save you? What makes me think that you could not have premeditated this murder? I'll tell you. Such a crazy way to kill somebody. You treated the body so tenderly afterward. You have no record of any kind of this thing before. You carried your son so carefully to his grandmother's house right afterward. A man who loved his son, would he premeditate a murder that would leave his child with no family except an electric chair? Martin, even at the age of 5, a child can hear things and know them and remember them, even though he doesn't understand them. Where's your daddy, Billy? I heard he sat on the electric chair. Ha, 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 ha.
I have $25,000 worth of insurance on my life, which Billy will get, and my mother can send him away somewhere.
If you just let me help you, I could get you off with a couple of years in prison. Just a couple of years in prison. You could bring him up yourself. One electrode goes here, Martin. It's funny. That's a place we always protect instinctively, that place at the back of the neck there. Did Gladys ever kiss you there, Martin?
Gladys is dead. Just tonight she's dead.
Somewhere there's another girl for you. Somewhere in this world, Martin. All you need to live, I think all you need to do to live is start talking, beginning with the words, I did not premeditate killing my wife. Can you say that?
No.
I did not premeditate killing my wife. You can't say that?
No.
To be, Martin. To be or not to be. Life. Look. You bend the knee. The foot points a little. Now you transfer the weight. The complicatedness of it. The sacredness of the simple physical business of living. Take a breath. Come on, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. That's alive. The air inside your lungs, it hurts a little to hold it in, doesn't it? But when that current goes through you, the air goes out whoosh, like a scream. And your whole body jumps, even though you're sitting strapped to the chair. You're scared of death. You're scared of the chair.
I'm not scared of death, and I'm not scared of the chair. I deserve the chair.
Why?
Because I'm nothing. I'm an insult to my father, who's all right, and to my mother, who's a saint. I'm a man who killed his wife. I can't even earn a living except just collecting pennies from mill workers for health and accident and burial insurance. I can't even take care of myself, much less Billy. I want to die, and the more painfully, the better.
After you killed Gladys, you should have turned the murder weapon on yourself and kicked yourself to death. You'd save the state a fortune. I was thinking, good day to stay indoors.
Alvin's with me. Can we come in?
Sure, why not?
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, honey. Hello, Alvin.
Hi, Mr. Monty.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm going to be your father-in-law. Call me Joe.
He respects you so much, Daddy.
And I'll call him Mr. Piper. I respect him, too.
Well, I hope you mean that sincerely, Mr. Monty.
From the heart.
Daddy, there's something we want to show you.
Okay.
We just had it done. You have a blonde daughter. Isn't it wonderful?
How do you like that? My daughter looks just like Sonia Heine.
The ends will get dry and crack.
Hilda, Mr. Piper would like a cup of coffee. Would you put some on, please?
Every month you'll have to go to the beauty parlor. It'll cost a fortune.
Well, she's marrying a rich husband, Hilda. Mr. and Mrs. Piper can afford it. Of course, if they spent less money bleaching hair, they'd be able to afford having a baby a year or so earlier.
Now, it isn't only the money, Mr. Monty. We don't want a child right away for several other good reasons.
Yes, I know. You haven't decided what kind you want yet. Color of eyes, hair, etc. I have the proofs here back from the engravers, the wedding invitations. Am I to understand your name is now Charlotte Monty, no longer Carlotta?
I'm sorry, Daddy. I wanted to tell you myself.
But, Mr. Monty, when you first started practicing here in Wickfield, practicing law, well, it was a great advantage to be Italian, but the community is no longer predominantly Italian, so...
Carlotta is predominantly Italian, no matter how you bleach her. She used to be proud of it. If anybody wants me, I'll be at the jail in the visitor's room. Call my office for me and let them know, would you, Charlotte?
He's so hard to talk to since Mama passed away. It's 3 years now. He's always so sort of cross. All the time.
I wonder if he's ever had an appraisal.
What? What for?
Well, so many of these things could be made over to you in his lifetime. It's a considerable tax saving. Hi.
Oh, it's terrible weather outside. I think I'm catching a cold again. One cold after another.
Something I won't have to worry about anymore. Or brushing my teeth. I can get cavities and spongy gums.
I've been studying your confession. You finally made up some photostats. Martin, your neighbors heard your little boy, Billy, cry a couple of times between 9 and 11. And each time, a light went on in the upstairs window, and the boy quieted down. Did you go up there to take care of him?
Yes.
Doesn't seem to me like a man getting set to commit a heinous and brutal murder.
Oh, who do you think killed her? The one-armed man? Or burglar?
Hello, son.
I didn't think there were any visitors allowed, they said.
Mr. Monte arranged for me to come. He could arrange so much for you too, Martin, if you would only open up to him. Give him some help, a little help. What did she do to you, son? What did she do to you that you had to kill her? Tell me what happened that made my son into a murderer. Oh, it must have been something so terrible that she deserved what you did to her.
Nobody deserved what I did to Gladys.
Martin, listen to me. Joe says that, Mr. Monte says that your confession is the same as you might as well jump out of a 10-story window or put a gun to your head as to sign that confession. He says you have to repudiate it. Martin, you do what Mr. Monte says.
Mama, I may not have made $1 million or anything, but please let me at least run my own death. I'm sorry. What I said in the confession is the truth. No one beat it out of me or anything like that.
It may be the truth, Martin, but something is being omitted. There has to be.
Martin, Father Daly would like to come up and talk to you.
No, I don't want to see Father Daly. All I want is to be put to sleep. I just want to be put to sleep.
Lord God, forgive him. This is your own Martin, who was always so good, who was a credit to his mother and to the church, who would always have walked in the ways of the Lord. But for that seductress...
Gladys's mother thought she would be a credit, too. Maybe she would have been if she'd married somebody else.
She was a loose woman. Insult, a tramp, grossness, dirtiness.
Mama! I tried, Mama. I really tried to be as good a man as you are a woman. I tried. I wish you would go now. I don't like you seeing me here.
Nina, come here. You'll come see him next Wednesday, Visitor's Day.
Now, Martin is a good boy.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Everybody says you're a wonderful woman. Everybody says that.
I'm nothing. I had one pride in my life. My son.
I think one of the reasons that he feels such a failure, such a nothing as he calls it, is you. He can't live up to what you set for him. That's part of his problem.
His trouble is he married the tramp.
Lena, I want you to let me tell him something that might shock him. But it might also relieve him a little bit. I want him to know that his mother is a human being like him, like Gladys.
Like Gladys? Me? Me, Joe?
Lena, remember way back, you and I, a couple of times?
No. Joe, something I did in my loneliness, new to this country. But Joe, this is all past and forgotten. Oh, how I prayed to be forgiven.
Lena, I want the right. When I think the moment is there, that I could say to him that his mother and I, when we were very young and neither of us were married.
No. Absolutely no.
Mr. Welch, Mrs. Welch, I'm sorry. If you'll go right in, we'll get to it. Right inside.
94880.
That's my office number in Boston.
Well, thank you.
Why didn't my father come if my mother could?
I told him not to, Martin. He asked, but, well, people one at a time. It's like people on a witness stand. You get better results that way. Except, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Welch. What they have to say, they were both present. You were very good friends of Gladys, is that right?
Oh, no.
Oh, no?
Well, we were acquaintances. Sometimes Martin here and his wife and Grace and I made up a foursome. She was with us, but not the way you make it seem real close.
Oh, no.
She gave you the shirt off her back.
What?
Gladys got fond of people. She had a new $15 or $20 blouse. She thought it'd be a better color on Grace. She took it off in the back of the car and gave it to her.
Well, she was canned.
And when you were moving apartments, she was there scrubbing the crud off the stove for you, helping you move in. Why can't you say she was a friend? Whoever did more for you than Gladys? Our stove was covered with crud. She went over there and did all her housework for him.
It's the least she might have done.
What?
I don't think Grace meant that.
I meant exactly that. If she'd scrubbed my floors on her hands and knees day and night for a year, she still would have owed me.
Oh, she would have owed you what?
All right, Martin. Martin. Mrs. Welch, why do you say that?
Well, you see the same people several nights running in bars, maybe even a month running. You think that makes you friends?
Her cleaning up of your apartment, isn't that sort of friendly?
Well, you'd have to have known her. Anyway, we could have gotten a maid to do that.
Just what is it you want to know? We've got to get going.
I want to know why Martin Rossetti killed his wife. Where did you meet Gladys?
Well, Grace and I had dinner, and then we went to the Oldham Tavern just for a beaker. And Gladys dropped in and sat down with us, and we all had a beaker.
Did she say why Martin wasn't with her?
Well, you see, she didn't let him out very often. Because he had the housework to do, the baby boy to mind, his pennies to count. He was lucky if he got let out once a week to go to the movies. Then, you see, his mother would sit for them.
You hated her, didn't you? All those evenings you spent with her, and you hated her guts, didn't you?
Don't most people hate most people? Why, have I shocked everybody?
Poor Gladys. Poor stupid. She thought the Welches were her friends. She really felt she'd hit high society. Worthwhile friends, she called them. Poor sloppy, stupid Gladys.
Gladys joined you at the tavern. As an acquaintance, informally. Who paid the check?
We did. $13 plus tip. Though she offered to pay her share, but you didn't let her, big man.
A girl is dead, and you're Mr. and Mrs. saying me about the check?
That little tramp gave me the shirt off her back. Why do you suppose she did that? So she could take it off under her coat in the back seat of the car for a big man's benefit. And she cleaned our stove. Why do you suppose she did that? Just so she could be around, just so she could be near big man here. You knew what was going on between the two of them, so why do you pretend you didn't?
No, I didn't. I don't think anything was. When she drank, she got flirtatious.
I don't blame her. Maybe instead of killing her, if you just pulled her up short a few times. If ever I saw a woman just begging to be spanked. But no, you just yell at her. And then she'd turn around and get $10 to go out boozing with. You deserve the chair. I remember a month ago, he came into the saloon and tried to get her to leave. Well, it was like an anti-saloon lecture. A temperance lecture from way back. Oh, she just brushed his hand off her sleeve. Said to leave her alone because she was with her friends. And he said, thought he was going to have a stroke or something. He said, Gladys, you stay out drinking when you're needed at home. And someday I'm going to take great pleasure in kicking you to death. And that is exactly what he did.
How's that for proof for premeditation?
That's what he said, all right.
Yeah, that's what I said. I guess that just about settles it, doesn't it, Mr. Martin?
I don't know, Martin. I don't know.
Well, I guess this calls for a little recess.
Morning, Dad.
Morning, Charlotte.
I'm going into Boston today, shopping. Do you need anything? Dad?
Do you think it would be possible for Alvin to kick you to death?
I used to see Gladys Rossetti around town, and I'm no Gladys.
Would you like a drink?
At 10 o'clock in the morning?
Say, I'll tell you something you can bring me back from Boston. 100 good cigars. The best you can get. Without giving aid or comfort to Mr. Castro.
But you stopped smoking.
I resume.
Dad, you haven't been to the office in 2 days.
Are you happy, honey? Is everything okay?
Why, sure.
Darling, darling Carlotta. Don't marry that poop, Alvin. He'll kick you to death without even using his feet. Carlotta, I'm dying. Stick around the house, huh? Just for company.
Oh, yes, I hear you, but I don't understand the rush, and I don't think Mr. Monty will either. All right. All right. Oh, he's here. I'll call you back if he wants to make a motion. They're moving up the arraignment. It must be newspaper pressure. If he's going to repudiate the confession or augment it, it better be pretty quick.
Freddie, I want you to wait outside, but keep close with your eyes on the door. In case anything happens, I need you. I'll open the door and you run right in.
What do you mean, need me?
In case he really opens up and starts talking. I don't think he's going to kick me to death, if that's what you mean. Come on in, Martin. Come in.
Hello, Martin.
Martin, in a little while, Father Daly will be here to see you. He's bringing a visitor with him, your little boy, Billy.
I wonder what he's going to think. What'll they tell him this place is?
Father Daly said he'll think of something to tell him. Martin, who do you want to bring up Billy after you're dead?
It's going to have to be my mother, I guess.
You know something, Martin? You're a warm man. You know how to like. You know how to love. I wish my daughter was going to marry a man who can love. I say this knowing that you killed a woman, but you loved Gladys. You love your mother.
My mother made me feel pretty small sometimes. She's a little narrow, a little straight-laced, but yes, I'd love her.
What she said, when she mentioned Gladys, she said Gladys was loose. Was Gladys loose?
No. Yes.
Word like that, It has many, many meanings. A girl who necks pretty passionate with a man, a young girl. That's not loose, is it?
No.
And yet you never did that with any girl. You said that, except until after you were married. Is that right?
Yeah. What's all this leading up to?
I don't know. In my old age, I'm remembering a girl on a rumble seat. Maybe it's leading to Billy in his future.
I don't see the connection.
Can I be just an old man, sort of ramble?
All right, go ahead.
You wouldn't want that kind of girl to bring up your Billy, would you?
Why should I?
Just hypothetical, would you?
I don't know. No.
Trying to make a point. Martin, maybe the kind of strict upbringing that you had is not always the best. A saint for a mother.
Well, I wasn't good enough for her, but Billy is.
Loose, she said. And yet, in my memory, the girls that I remember, well, I liked them. I really liked all the girls of that sort that I knew.
Everyone to his own taste.
Those girls, Martin, it's a long, long time ago. All of them are married and have children. What kind of mothers do you think they made?
How would I know?
It's a funny thing, you know. I've been talking to myself about you all morning. About me, too. As much as I loved her, I used to yell at my wife, sometimes my Virginia. Once Martin, I got so mad at her, I actually hit her. Well, I opened my fist at the last minute. It became more of a slap. But the impulse to hit her was there. Now, why did I never think of doing that to my mother? It would never even occur to me. To you either, I'll bet.
Sure, that's right, sure.
We hit our wives, we don't hit our mothers.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, maybe you killed Gladys because your mother taught you to hate women like Gladys.
My mother taught me to hate women like Gladys, yes, all right. The kind of woman Gladys turned out to be brings down the whole female sex. There are things that Gladys did. At night she stayed out.
What Gladys was, she was a human being. Maybe a bad one, but a human being. Your mother pretends she's not. Maybe someday Billy will kick his wife to death.
Do you think I blame my mother for anything I did?
Martin, I'm going to tell you something. Something I have no right to talk about. I asked permission to tell you, but I was denied it. I'm going to tell you anyway. I usually do what women tell me to do, but not this time. No, not this time.
Is this your jury technique you're using on me?
Yes, sort of. Yes. Martin, one of the girls I used to be happiest with in a rumble seat.
Go on, Mr. Marty. If you got something to say, say it.
I want you to tell me what happened the night of the murder, what really happened. I know you didn't premeditate that murder. Martin, you know what hypnotism is?
What do you mean?
A hypnotist. A first-rate public speaker, that's practically a hypnotist of a whole crowd. Like they said Clarence Darrow was the great lawyer of the jury. That's what I'm trying to do with you. What I'm trying
You're driving me crazy. That's what
And you're driving me crazy by not telling me what really happened. I did not premeditate killing my wife. Say it.
I told you.
I did not premeditate killing my wife and then go on from there. That's what I want from you. All right. All right, Martin. Martin, the kind of love life I had when I was a young man, the kind that you never had. The girl that I remember most strongly today. The girl who was so pretty, so very, very pretty. This girl who was the most passionate girl I ever knew. Martin, the name of this girl, her name was... It's Lena. She came here from Europe when she was about... Shut up. You can ask her when she comes on Wednesday. You can check on me. Get out! Get out! She told me not to tell you, but I decided...
I don't want to talk to him. I won't talk to him. Take me back to my cell. Joe?
Oh, boy, I really blew this one up. Or to use the expression, I blew it.
What'd you say to him?
I made the clear implication that his mother was a human being. Come on, let's get out of here. If there's anything I hate, it's a big, fat failure. Goodbye, Charlie.
Goodbye, Mr. Monty. Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye, Martin. Good luck.
Mr. Monty,
Yes?
was that the truth?
What do you think?
Was it?
Yes.
Mr. Monty? I did not premeditate killing my wife. I did not premeditate killing my wife. I did not premeditate killing my wife! I did not premeditate killing my wife! I did not premeditate killing my wife!
Charlie.
I didn't, did I?
I don't think you did, no, Martin. Okay, Charlie.
When I hit Gladys, I must have really been hitting her because my mother made me feel that everything that Gladys was evil. Does that sound right?
Yes.
I murdered Gladys in a blind rage. What did she do that was so terrible when you were young?
Nothing terrible.
But she thinks it's terrible.
That's right.
I don't want her bringing up... He's mine! He's mine! I pounded the table that night. I sat there alone, waiting for her to come home. And every once in a while, I got so mad that I pounded on the table. I didn't premeditate killing her. I'd been just as mad at her before and not hit her. And I only hit her once, ever, and that was the night I killed her. She came home and she said, well, you look nice and cheerful. And she smelled of whiskey and had that look of hate. And then she came over to me and she said, Martin Rossetti, you're nothing. You're a little empty zero. A real man can appreciate me. You've got a job a zero would do. A job a real man wouldn't take. And then she went over to my desk where I'd piled all my coins, and she knocked a lot of them onto the floor. And she said, quit your job. I'm running this family from now on. We're going to go places and be somebody. You're going to get a real job. Then something happened that I'm ashamed of. I got down on my knees and I picked up all the coins. I crawled all over the floor and I picked up all those coins.
I understand, Martin.
I don't. And then she said something about let's face facts. Let's face the fact that Martin Rossetti is a nothing. And then she said that I wasn't the father of Billy. Somebody else was the father of Billy. She said. And then she went over and knocked off a lot of coins again. And I started to hit her. And I never stopped hitting her and kicking her until she was dead. She said I wasn't even the father of Billy.
I'll take over now, Mr. Monty. Go to Bermuda. Have a good time.
Martin, listen to me. Billy is your boy, and you better be the one to bring him up. It doesn't matter. Somebody else might be his father. Like you said, he's your boy.
Yes.
Freddie will take care of you now.
Thank you, Mr. Monty.
His little boy is here, Mr. Monty.
Thank you, John. Father?
Hello, Mr. Monty. We're not too late, are we? I couldn't get away.
You're in very good time. Hi, Billy.
Hi, where's my daddy?
Here in a minute.
Is there any hope for young Martin?
Yes, there is, Father. I think he'll be all right now.
The Lord is merciful.
Father.
Yes, Joe? What is it?
I haven't been attending church much. I haven't been to confession for a long time, for years. If I had gone to confession for that long time, I would have had to confess a wish to die. And, Father, I'm dying.
Joe?
Leukemia. I was dying gladly. Until now. Suddenly, I don't want to die. As you said, the Lord is merciful.
I don't understand, Joe.
I don't either, Father. But for the last 2 days, I've been that boy, Martin Rossetti. I've been in his skin. I made him want to live. And in doing that, Father, I can die like a man now, with life in my heart.
Mr. Monty.
Hello, Martin. I'll talk to you later. Your son is in here. Billy?